What's up, everybody? Steve, and I am grateful to be here today. Um, it's been a little while since I've made a video, and I will talk about that in a few minutes. But first, let's just start off. I'm going to do a little reading here. And this is from a book published in 2001 called The World's Greatest Treasury of Health Secrets. And uh, there's pieces in here by various experts and heads of the field at the time, just life advice. Really interesting book. And it's also it's a pretty cool view back in time. But really, this book was ahead of its time in a lot of things, as in, I definitely was not talking about or thinking about any of this stuff in 2001. So um, here we go. The views and effects of time. A view of time as finite, as a finite resource, slowly slipping away, can cause stress as well as a rushed feeling, as though everything is flying by, as one is left overwhelmed and unfulfilled. Whereas one who lives in this mindful moment to the best of one's ability, being fully true and authentic, will find, if not altered by an outside influence or substance, an extreme fire for life and truth will be ignited. One cannot mindlessly fall into the rhythms of the world, quote unquote. Therefore, one must be aware of the tactics and methods. Fatal distraction is presented far deadlier than poison. The distraction suffered by one who thinks he is free of this distraction brings liberation. I think I might have butchered that in the reading. That's okay. I'm going to move on. So, basically, talking about mindfulness, meditation, self-inventory, and this last little paragraph about distraction. In my opinion, what it's trying to say is, basically, as I see it in today's day and age, distraction runs rampant. And it is mostly, we're mostly unaware of what we're doing psychologically when we are distracting in these methods. Even if it's just coming home at the end of the night and clicking the TV on, having a couple drinks. It's a method of distraction. And, same with scrolling on social media, video games, all these things. Not saying it's unhealthy. It can be, because it's a level of distraction. And, it should be important to have a certain level of realism and relationship with the self and not be trying to distract all the time. At least for me personally, I'm finding this to be more and more true. For me, whether it's drugs, heroin, alcohol, scrolling on my phone, playing video games, it can get to the point of fatal distraction in that I am never present with myself and never fully present in the moment I'm in. Even if it's just because I'm listening to things all the time, audiobooks or talks on YouTube or debates or whatever, that's still a form of distraction from self. And it's really only when we can have a fully present relationship with self that we can start to really observe and direct some of these things in our lives which take control. Let's see if there's any more of this I want to read. To fully feel an emotion is to discharge that emotion. That's a heavy one right there. Nothing negative has ever happened in the future, nor will it. Basically saying that we don't know what's going to happen in the future. And so the only negatives that can happen are in the present moment. The only thing putting stress in now is you. Comparison to expectation, future hopes, or past events, the expectation of others. Okay, signals or rituals can be created in order to stay mindful and act carefully as opposed to reaction. Interrupt stress. Whoa. Phone down. Interrupt stress, anxiety, or anger. Get to the root and shine truth. Dispel impressions. One thing at a time. Focus with all intent and effort. Take a moment to celebrate completing a task. Feel the joy of accomplishment. And, for some of us that it's hard to focus on a task for long periods of time like that, break it up into small goals and celebrate those little wins. Keep going with it, though. Find what works for you, really. These things are all subjective, and it's take the tool and make it your own. Anything that I talk about is for you to take and make it your own in any way that works for you in order to better yourself. Mini break for breath work. Slow, mindful breaths. Take inventory of what's around. The five senses, how I feel, how I want to feel. Give yourself time to compose. Don't be late, be early. Treasure the normal little things. Gratitude for the adventure of life. Analyze the body movements while sweeping. Feel the water during dishes, etc. And that's pretty much all I got written down for that. So I share that because sometimes in getting well, me especially, I tend to take on too much. I do great for a while, and then I fumble, I get overwhelmed, and I don't have the capacity to deal with it, and so everything kind of falls apart, and I have to rebuild again. And I don't feel like there's any shame or anything bad in this happening or telling you about this, because it's just the stages of growth. This is how I learn and I grow. And so this is helping me to constantly focus on my foundation and the basic things that keep me well and on the path that I want to be on. Which mean, the things that keep me sober, the things that keep me present and able to have a strong relationship with my child and the people around me, my family and loved ones, being able to deal with the normal things of life without overload and too much stress, or having to retreat and distract myself by whatever means. And so what are some things that we can do to get over this overwhelm freeze, or this feeling of I should be doing something and I'm not, I'm just distracting myself? How do we get over that, and how do we get over the guilt of feeling that? I think that's the heavy question. And I'm running out of time here a little bit, so I'm going to wrap it up and just kind of lead this off into my next video, which is going to be some of the basic DBT skills of mindfulness and emotional regulation. And so what I'm doing to kind of combat my paralyzing overwhelm, fear, whatever you want to call it, is, once again, I'm just trying to do some things to help me talk about what's going on in my life. Do some things that help me analyze and focus. Writing notes, recording videos, etc. So, I love y'all. I really appreciate the support, and I'm happy y'all are here with me on this journey, and I will see y'all later. Rise up, rise together. Peace.